wild weather is set to continue overnight, with winds forecast to reach up to 90 kilometres an hour.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. And given the amount of rain we've been having lately, I thought it was a good opportunity to make a quick little video on my top 5 tips when it comes to hiking and camping in the rain. These 5 tips kind of changed camping and hiking in the rain from something really miserable for me to something that's just, you know, part of the experience, and it makes it just a lot more enjoyable. So let's get started. Now, before I get stuck into the tips, I just wanted to say that obviously getting wet on the trail, things like that, is potentially quite dangerous. So these tips are definitely based around my climate. Seeing as I live in Sydney, I don't do any huge amounts of sub-zero camping in the snow, etc. So obviously these tips will differ for different climates, but hopefully regardless, you'll be able to get something out of this video. Anyway, let's get stuck into the 5. Number 1 is pretty straightforward, and that is just accept the fact that you will get wet. Hiking and camping in the rain is a losing battle, and it almost always ends up in you getting wet or damp in one way or another, whether that be from the rain or it be from all the sweat and perspiration that is released when you're wearing all your waterproof clothes. So pretty much in one way or another you'll probably get wet to some degree, and it's more so about minimizing that than completely eliminating it, and focusing on keeping all the key equipment dry. So things like your sleeping bag, and always having a dry and warm set of clothes to change into once you get to camp or at the end of the hike. Number 2 is use a poncho instead of a jacket. I've made a whole separate video which I'll link down below why I think a poncho is better when it comes to hiking and camping than a jacket. But not only does it keep, or I found that it keeps myself and my equipment drier, it's easier to use, easier to put on, take off. So when you're kind of coming into stop-start rain like today is kind of looking, I've got my poncho on the back as you can see, but it also vents a lot better. Again, I've got a whole video, I'll link down below, but I definitely recommend a poncho over a rain jacket for hiking and camping. Number 3 is all about tent storage. So when you get to camp, you want to be able to set up your shelter nice and quick, get everything inside, start drying off, get changed, whatever it is you need to do. So if you know if it's going to be a rainy day throughout the trail, make sure you pack your tent, your shelter, or whatever it is, right at the top, so you can pretty much get it out and start setting up straight away, rather than right at the bottom of your pack, so you have to take everything out beforehand. So yeah, tip number 3, pack the tent on top. Tip number 4 is to do with your footwear. Now, I gave up on boots or Gore-Tex boots, Gore-Tex shoes quite a while ago. I'll link that video down below for the finer details. But like I mentioned in tip number 1, you're probably going to get wet, and more often than not, your feet are going to be the part of you which gets wet the quickest and generally stays wet the longest, because boots and thick shoes, especially Gore-Tex shoes, once they get wet, they stay wet for a long time. Whereas more lightweight style runners, they might get wet quicker, but they dry a lot faster as well. So for me, tip number 4 is, if you can, wear more lightweight trail runners. They'll get wet, but they'll dry a lot quicker too. And lucky last, tip number 5 is wear shorts, or if not shorts, then those daggy pants which you can unzip at the knees and turn into shorts. They're actually the pants that I wear on all my hiking camping trips. It's not only can you cool down on hot hikes, but when it rains, because I wear a poncho, it covers about 3/4, but the bottom of the shorts will still get wet. Now that's a bit pointless. It's easy just to unzip them, have my legs get wet, which dry really quickly anyway, and it'll probably keep me cool regardless. And then when I get into camp, I can zip up the bottom part of the pants again and just have nice dry pants to keep me warm once I've gotten back to camp. So either shorts or those zip off pants to have that versatility and keep your legs dry towards the end of the hike. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you got something out of it. They're just the 5 things which have really made hiking in the rain a little bit easier for me. Feel free, if you guys have any more tips, leave them down below. Love to hear from you, and I'm sure other people would love to check out your ideas as well. So drop a comment down below if you've got any tips for hiking and camping in the rain. But as always, thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then, happy trails.